Alright, alright, okay. Today, the preview of the video that you're going to be watching, rather listening to, is about adaptation, evolution, evolving. The fact that everything changes, whether it's nature and the seasons, whether it's business, whether it's technology. You can't really expect everything to work the same forever, to be the same forever. Gonna take a look at a couple of examples of this and take a look at why it's important to really, hedge against the fact that things change, things evolve, what you can do to keep the money flowing, keep everything good. So basically, when I think of evolution and change, it makes me think of business, makes me think of personal experience in business. One of the first businesses I was a part of was a restaurant delivery service. And basically what this business did was we pick up food from a restaurant. It was a college city in the college area, so everything was within like a 5-mile radius. We would go pick up the food from a restaurant. We would go deliver it mainly to students, and they would pay us. We would get a little. We would mark it. Yeah, when we first started, what we would do is we would pay the restaurants the same price that they had on the menu, and then we would mark it up on our site. So then they would pay a small delivery fee plus the small markup on whatever they got. Well, when we first started this, no one else was doing this in our city. There were a few other cities where people were doing this, mainly college towns. I don't even think, Uber did not even exist at this time. So there was no Uber, there was no Lyft, it was only taxi cabs. The only places I really delivered was like, pizza places, stuff like that. So basically, what happened was, first year, everything grew pretty quick. We had like a solid base of customers. By the end of the year, everything had kind of grown. Next year, we had been approached by a person who had a chain of 3 or 4 different delivery services like this, different cities across the United States, who wanted to, basically invest in our business, become the main stakeholder. At the time, we didn't really know what we were doing as far as running a business, anything like that. So we were like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, we're gonna grow your business really big, everything like that. So we went with it, and it did. Our business did expand. I believe the new owner was expanding too fast, which is another story. But basically, the business expanded, and the business expanded pretty quick. Within 2 years, the business was like super busy. We couldn't even keep up with demand, everything like that. It was hard to find trustworthy people. So what happened is, as soon as we kind of reached that plateau, all of a sudden, like, it was just like overnight, 2 or 3 more similar businesses in the same city opened up, and we had kind of basically a focus on the higher end, like the gourmet restaurants that we would go pick up from the nicer restaurants around that area and then go deliver them. And these new ones, they were like picking up on the restaurants that we didn't have, like McDonald's, Taco Bell, the more like the fast food, the lower end type restaurants. And they were trying to basically steal the other businesses that we had from us. With the first year, it was wide open. We had no idea how quick the business could grow, anything like that. Second year, business really grew, took off. Third year, we hit that wall. All of a sudden, it was like I said, overnight, new businesses came along. They were run and operated by people who seemed to understand business a lot better because of the way that they were handling the market, the way that they were advertising, promoting their business, stuff like that, the people that they were hiring, stuff like that. Okay, so basically, our whole thing went out of business. We just kind of like, we tried to keep it going. I left it after that third year. I saw that things, to me, it didn't seem like things were moving forward anymore. I wanted to work on something else. I was bored with that. Another guy stuck with the business. Only one of the original people I started it with stuck with it. From what I understand, a year later, they were out of business. So basically, that's pretty much the with every business venture, every source of passive income I've created. What I've seen is that you gotta really in the beginning find some way to set yourself apart from everything else. Find an area, like blue ocean strategy is what they call it. Like, a lot of these businesses are all stuck in the same, trying to serve the same market. So what they say is, they're all in the ocean, bunch of sharks. The water's all bloody because everyone's getting eating up each other. So what you want to do is find an area of the ocean where it's not red, where it's blue, where no one else is out there. So basically, that's kind of like the main business strategy, main hustle strategy, getting money in general. Find something new, find something, innovate something that no one's ever done before. And once you get there, once you figure out how to scale up, it's going to be wide open. You're going to be able to make so much money. You're going to be able to provide so much value to people that where value never existed before. Well, what's going to happen is as soon as you start to become profitable, as soon as you start to really become successful, other people are going to take note of that, other businesses, and they're going to say, hey, I can step in here too. Like there's no blood in the water yet. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to step in, they're going to do their best to take away your customers, to do whatever. It's going to make it harder for you. And if you stick in there, what's going to happen at the end of the day is it's not going to be there anymore, or you're going to have to fight really hard, when what you could do is put that business on autopilot, let it do its thing, and start searching for new opportunities. Start searching already. As soon as you see that things are starting to get crowded, look for a new spot. You can still keep operating the old spot, but start looking for a new one. Alright, so really that was my experience with the topic, the word for today. Next thing is really gonna take a look at adaptation in life, adaptation in the world. Everything changes, starting with nature. You can't do the same thing in one season as you do in the next season. It's pretty simple to understand that, like universal laws. You got business, like I was just talking about. Business changes kind of like that. Technology, I mean, you look at technology, really, like, I think technology has changed more in the past 100 years than in that short time. It's probably changed more than like 1,000 years before that. So you look at, I think airplanes didn't even exist 100 years ago, maybe about 100 years ago. You look at the internet coming along, you look at, television, all that stuff. Really think of all the hundreds and hundreds of years that newspapers were around before anything else existed. All the people that were stuck on newspapers and now, like, newspapers really fading away. So yeah, you can't expect the same thing to work forever. You gotta understand that, if I have a job at a factory, building cars, that if I lose my job at that factory, I can't be mad at politicians, at social issues, stuff like that. I have to understand that, okay, well, the government could give this factory a ton of money to open back up, but at the end of the day, if they were closing down, either they had found some way to replace the labor for cheaper, whether it's artificial intelligence, robots, or else that business model is changing and fading away. But it seems like there's a huge problem with a lot of people that they go on and think that I'm gonna demand that my job is back. I need another job. I can't find any more coal mining job. That's all I know. That's all I've been doing my whole life. No, it doesn't work like that. Things are gonna change. You have to expect that change, and when they do change, resisting that change is only gonna make things worse on you. It's only gonna make things worse on everybody else around you. So really, there's a lot of people that are being, I would say, conned by politicians and by society, whereas they see this as an easy way to get their vote or their support and say, well, we're going to bring more jobs to your area. We're going to bring your jobs back, stuff like that, which is really ridiculous every time I hear it. And I just think as a person who understands business to some extent, I'm like, okay, these people are just being taken advantage of because they don't want to accept change. So you got marketing. That's a huge thing when you look at business. I mean, look at the way that marketing has shifted originally from radio to TV to the internet. And even with the internet, just a few years ago, everybody was marketing, buying out banners and ads. Now today, everyone just ignores banners and ads, and everyone was marketing on Facebook. Now today, people are more and more ignoring the ads on Facebook. Instagram is starting to become one of the best places to advertise, and you can see an evolution of people where they move from one platform, that platform gets oversaturated, then they start moving to the next new platform, and so on and so forth. This is going to keep evolving, keep happening. So what can you do to really hedge against evolution? Really become adaptive yourself. I mean, you just got to understand that that's part of life, like being adaptive, evolving. So you look at having multiple hustles, multiple sources of passive income. You have one job, like, I mean, everything's gone. That one job stops. And jobs people are lasting less and less years at a job as they used to 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So that mindset's not going to get you very far. You want to have multiple sources of passive income. Brand yourself. Brand your business. Create something that's lasting. Like, don't sell just cheap products for whatever because you can get a high margin on it, or because it's easy to sell this product or whatever. Provide something that's really value, that sticks out from the rest, like I was saying before. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have 5 different sources of passive income. I can guarantee you, pretty much guarantee you, that within 3 to 5 years, one of these sources of passive income is gonna dry up, disappear. It's not going to be around anymore. People aren't going to be buying that kind of whatever platform that you're on. And one of the ones that you never expected is going to just blow up and make like 10, 100 times more than what you thought it would make, or what it was making when it first started. Alright, so you got multiple sources of income, you got multiple hustles. And another thing I think is very important with evolution is really you look at the case of money, and money's evolving too. Money's always changing in value. A lot of people, from what I understand, the majority of people, what they do with extra money is they put it in a bank. And that's really the what you're hearing from society is, put your money in the bank, save your money. That's the smart thing to do. Well, what I believe is way smarter than keeping your money in a bank where it's just sitting there and you're basically just hoarding it, is to flip it. Like, you want to get another dollar extra, you want to flip that dollar, reinvest it. When I say flip, I mean reinvest, invest. And same thing as before. Things are going to evolve. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't invest all in the same thing. Some of these investments are going to, you'll lose money. Some of them you're going to make money. Majority over time, you'll get better at finding ones that make money. Putting your money in a bank, I mean, that's like what you're getting. You're getting interest that doesn't even cover inflation. Like, you're basically losing money. The bank is the one that's making money. You put your money in the bank's making, like, I think it's something like 15 to 20% off of every dollar that you give them, and you're making like what, 1%? I mean, huh? Why are people still putting their money in the bank? I mean, other than just simple like having it there for purposes of like monthly expenses, stuff like that. Really, all that extra, the majority of people's money, I believe, should be into flipping and reinvesting. So that is the topic for today: evolution, adaptation. Making sure people have an evolution mindset. Really getting money comes down to that. Like, you can't keep getting the same money you're gonna be getting, as possible. Sometimes that does happen, but majority of cases, what is it, most businesses go out of business in like 5 to 10 years. So yeah, really, if you thought this was valuable, if you like this, go ahead, hit the likes. Anything you want to know, any questions, go ahead, leave it in the comments. Anything you want to say, it's awesome. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Have an awesome day.